Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. I hope you can hear me. Just send me a text message in case, or chat message when just to let me know that we are on, because I've been having problems with my YouTube connection on all my devices at home in the last 2 days. So I'm not really sure whether I'm live or not. So I'm just going to momentarily get into the live stream section and see stream settings. I think we are on. So with that, let's get started for today. Today seems to be, slightly positive in the pre-market. I'm looking at S&P 500 futures. I'm going to expand this chart a little bit and recalibrate it so that we can see it clearly. What we have here is a line of support which has been functioning very well. Hi Uddhav, good morning. Thanks for joining. This line of support has been giving us support for a while now. So 1, 2, 3, 3 days of support so far. And I think this will perform the role of a support again today at 6,810.75. And when I look at the overall market sentiment, it's continuing to be bearish. MACD is bullish, and momentum still has got plenty of room out here. I'm thinking that overall the strength in the market is a bit weak. I think the volumes are also very low, and in low volumes we are trying to maintain a higher price, so participation is less, and hopefully today we will start getting more participation. And we also are looking forward to the ISM services PMI tomorrow. That is the only data point I think the Fed is going to get, and it may have much more importance this month as compared to before. So tomorrow morning, I think we would be able to see some kind of a decisive trend change in the market. That's my feeling. Let's look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ also is bouncing against some kind of invisible resistance out here. And if I look at the candle we formed for 24th of October 2025, it seems to give a clue that probably this candle was stopped by the same resistance. And this candle out here on the 5th of November was bounced back up with the same line of resistance, and then we have 2 more days which followed the same line of resistance. So I think that is active right now. So I would say that we definitely have a resistance in a range of 25,484 all the way to 25,552.25. That's going to be our resistance today. And in terms of support, as I mentioned, it's going to be 25,201. Hi Hot Dog, thanks for joining. Okay, so that said, I think when you look at the indicators, it seems to say that things are not as hunky-dory as it seems out here. Some commentators are saying rotation is taking place. I don't know. I don't know how to check that. Also, we have to go to the heat map and try to figure it out. But we have a double top out here, and we have the trigger point for the double top, which is going to be 99.422 for dollar index. We need to watch what happens out here. It could also have an impact for the overall market. The VIX is down 2.84, which indicates that there is a little bit of positivity. But there are days when we have started low and then gone up. And the most recent example is 20th of November when we started at around 20.77, dipped a bit low during the day, and then went up again all the way to 28.20, and then closed at 26.44. That's a very vivid example of what could potentially happen, and that could happen today as well. So let us keep an open mind. And if you look at gold has lost a little bit. It's gone down by 0.48%. I'm still bullish on gold overall, and I think that the bearish market sentiment is very close to neutral. MACD is bullish, momentum is above average, plenty of room on the RSI. Money printing is, but for sure in most parts of the globe, including Japan and other places. So gold has got to pick up. Put call ratio is almost neutral. And then let's go on to Yeah, I think we are back on again. My internet is unstable. I don't know. I don't know. It's my problem at my end. I apologize. But we are back online again. I was talking about S&P 500. S&P 500 seems to be responding to this diagonal line of resistance. I'm just going to mark it as a resistance today. We have not confirmed. My God, today we have got a whole lot of disruption happening, my friends. I'm really sorry that we are going through this situation, but I'm going to repeat stuff and I'm going to keep it short and brief. That way, we'll navigate today's instability in my live stream. My live stream continues to create problems. I can't diagnose this right now, but I get indication here. It says OBS disconnecting and reconnecting. Connection is successful. Sorry for all the breaks. Let's keep it short. Let's keep it quick. We have this diagonal line of resistance within which we are here today. So yesterday we broke out of this and we did not confirm about that. Today we have an opportunity to do that. If we do that, we'll be fine. If we don't do that, then this diagonal line of support will need to be reconfirmed. So we are having some kind of problems out here with the S&P 500 index. For today, I will say the resistance initially is going to be at 6820.00. The next resistance would be at 6850.10. Support will be at 6795.64. When we go to NASDAQ, NASDAQ is definitely confirmed above the support level of 25,207.34. That's going to be the support for today. And the resistance, the first resistance is likely to be around 25,433, and the next resistance is likely to be at around 25,515.24. QQQ shows that we are up 0.36% in pre-market trades, and our diagonal line of support of the previous parallel channel is going to be the resistance for us today at 624.20. That's our resistance for today. Now, if I go on to AI, let's keep this moving fast. NVDA is up 0.77% in pre-market trades. Resistance will be at 183.65. Support is going to be at 179.99. And if you look at Meta is up 0.48%, resistance at 651.22, support at 636.69. And if you look at Google is up 0.37%, but I think it's definitely trying to do a gap fill. So I think it will get initial support somewhere around $310, and the next support is going to be somewhere around 304.10. Let's look at Amazon, which is up 0.94% in pre-market trades. It's going to get resistance at 242.23. I'm going to mark this as red, and it's going to get a support at around 231.17 today. Apple is down 0.13% in pre-market trades, but I see bullishness in there in Apple. Market sentiment is now neutral. MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average. Plenty of room on the RSI to reach where it was before. So I think that we could do a little bit of consolidation to let the RSI cool off. We still are looking at a target of 296.76. Microsoft is up 0.07%. Microsoft has been beaten up a lot. I'm curious to see whether we can confirm 486.71 as a resistance. So I would like to see us break down below 486.41, and then we'll get a support at around 484.36. The reason I'm saying that is because we have a target for the head and shoulder at 441.38, and I would like to start accumulating Microsoft. It has given up a whole lot of gains. But at this point of time, we are not getting very good support out here, or we are not getting a great resistance out here. So it's an area of uncertainty. I want to see some patterns develop or something concrete that can allow me either to ignore Microsoft or to start accumulating. So from that point of view, I would like it to come down, but that is wishful thinking. We don't know what the direction of Microsoft is. Market sentiment is bearish. MACD is also bearish. Momentum is below average. So it could go any direction. And it is from that point of view, the weakness that I see in the indicators, that I think that we are going to break down below this support and probably test the support of this diagonal. Next, let us look at Tesla. Tesla, I think the momentum is weak, and the RSI is bullish, but market sentiment is showing a lot of weakness out here. So when I try to compare and contrast the price action with the MACD, I think the weakness of the MACD indicates that there is not much conviction in this price, and therefore the price is more likely to come down than go up. So I'm thinking that we are likely to see a red candle today. We have a diagonal line of support which gives support at 429.08, and that's going to be the first support for today, and the second support for today is going to be $419. Oracle is down 2.09%. That's a very interesting article out here. Let's just see where it is. I'm missing that article. So I'm just going to read from here, and that's got some important indications for me. The article says Oracle issued 18 billion in bonds in September. However, the 2055 and 2065 bonds fell about 7 points, leading to 750 million in losses for investors. What happens when the bond price falls? The bond price falls, yields go up. Bond price falls means there is not much interest among investors to buy that bond, and that's the reason why the bond prices fall. So investors seem to be thinking that when you look at a maturity time frame of 2055 and 2065, Oracle doesn't look viable or attractive at that stage, and that's why investors in that time frame are not preferring Oracle shares, and that's showing weakness out there. So that's something to keep in mind as fundamental weakness for Oracle in the minds of bond investors, and that could have a bearing on Oracle stock prices. So even though we are seeing a bit of a bounce out here, looking at long-term trends, I would more look at a consolidation happening out here with 196.43 as the bottom. AMD is up 1.10%, moving in tandem with NVDA, but it's going to get resistance at 237.62. It will get some support at 201.74. SMCI is up 1.62%. It's going to get resistance today at 34.03. We have not been able to break 34.03 for quite a while. Will it be today that we make that break? That's the big question. If we break through above here, then we'll have resistance at 35.61. That's the next level of resistance. Broadcom is up 1.09%. It moves along with Google, and it's got a lot of support at 386.69. Pre-market it's at 390.27. So 380.69 is the first support, and resistance is likely to be at 402.93. Palantir is up 0.1%. Sorry, it's up 1% in pre-market trades, and it will get a resistance today at 171.91. It could get a support today at around 165.01. SMH is up 0.80% in pre-market trades. Let me just pull this out further, and I would say that the first resistance for SMH is likely to be at around 375.31. Tempus AI is up 1.35% in pre-market trades, and it's going to get support at 74.21, and it will get some resistance at 77.99. Next, I want to go and have a look at Genomics, which is Prime, which is up 1.43%. Resistance definitely today at 3.88, and support is likely to be in the diagonal line of support at 3.26. Intelia is up 1.31% in pre-market trades. It's going to get resistance at 9.08%. Next, let's look at Caribou Biosciences, which is at which is up 2.82%. It's going to get resistance at 1.85. I'm just going to mark this red, and it could get some support when it approaches 1.74. Beam Therapeutics is up 1.04% in pre-market trades. Definitely some support at 24.10, and definitely resistance at 25.40. Altimmune is up 1.62%, still staying above the horizontal line of support at 4.80. It's going to get resistance at 5.32. Editas is flat in pre-market trades, but it will get resistance at 2.37 today. And if you look at Illumina, Illumina is up 0.76% in pre-market trades. I'm looking at whatever pattern is forming out here. Could it be a bullish flag or could it be a bullish pennant? That's what I'm looking at. Our ultimate target is going to be 151.77, but on our way there we may form bullish flag, bull flags and bullish pennants, and then break out on the upside and keep moving upwards. Right now I do not see any bearishness in Illumina. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 1.15% in pre-market trades. It's got resistance at 53.14 and it's got very good support today at 48.69. Allogene is down 3.65% in pre-market trades, which makes sure that 1.35 becomes a resistance for us, and a support can be found at 1.27 today. So I'm marking that as a green line of support out here. And we look at Grail. Grail is up 1.06%. It continues to get support at 91.80, and it will continue to get resistance at 107.36. PACV is up 0.45% in pre-market trades. It will definitely get support at 2.17, which happens to be this diagonal line of support which we marked out earlier. And we have this bull flag target which kind of takes us to around 2.81. We seem to have gone as close to it as possible. So right now I'm watching out to see if we are forming any bearish patterns or if we are forming a bear channel, because we have bull flag pole out here, and the bull flag pole could potentially take us all the way up to 2.63. And if that is the case, I think our 50% point is at 2.06. So if this formation comes down, breaks down below this diagonal line of support and tracks down below 50% of the flagpole, then I would call it more of a bear channel getting formed. ARCG is up 0.87% in pre-market trades. It will get resistance today at 30.56, and it's going to get support today at 29.84. Vertex is up 0.01%. It's trying to stay above this diagonal line of support, but not succeeding this morning, because this morning the diagonal line of support is at 426.54, and pre-market we are at 425.66. I would wait for the market to take off and then decide what to do here. We definitely have, unfortunately, a formation that you guys can easily recognize, and this formation would likely have a trigger somewhere out here, and I would probably do a little bit of a diagonal on this trigger and pull this out here. So this is our trigger line, and if we trigger this and confirm this trigger line as a resistance, then we have a long way to come down. So I'll be watching out for that. Ginkgo Bioworks is up 1.50% in pre-market trade, and I still think this is a bear flag, and I want to see what happens. I would like to watch a few more candles to decide whether this bear flag is breaking down, and then plot a target for it. And then we look at Precision, which is flat in pre-market trade. It is supposed to get support at 3.64, but this morning it is at 3.61. So I'm going to mark this as a line of resistance at 3.64, and let us see what Precision does. I would like it to stay above 3.64. It has got a lot of potential in my opinion, but the chart is saying that the stock is very weak and investors are losing confidence. And Eli Lilly is up 0.13% in pre-market trades. In my mind, this is a bull flag, so I'm going to watch this. And this is the flagpole that we have drawn here for the bull flag. I'm just going to pull this up a little more, and if we fall below 50% of this flagpole, let me just pull this down to the bottom out here. So if we fall below 50%, that is today, will determine whether we are starting a bearish channel, because we are very close to invalidating the bull flag. So I'll watch this for today and decide what happens next. I'm looking at Ultragenics, which is down 3.97%, but still managing to stay above this diagonal line of support of 32.70. Pre-market we are at 33.37. So 32.70 will form support for us today. And our resistance is going to be at 34.33. That's it. Let's go and have a look at currencies. In currencies, I'm looking at USD JPY first. USD JPY is showing a very little movement out here. There's a consolidation happening between yesterday and today, not much of a difference, so it's not in the equation for today right now. And I would like to look at gold. If I look at ZGLD, I can see that we still are above the bullish pennant, and we got a lot of supports out here. I'm just going to change the colors. So as you can see, heads I win, tails you lose kind of a situation, because there's multiple green lines that are helping us. Please analyze better levels to enter in NICE for long-term trade. Okay, I'll check out NICE for you, Uddhav. Let's go to NICE, but my caveat is that I'm a retail investor like yourself, so you can't take my words to the bank. Okay, you have to use your own logic before you decide to invest. Let me see where I plunked NICE. I put it in one of those indicators, one of those watch lists. Okay, let me go to AI and let me add NICE here, NICE. NICE Limited sponsor ADR. This is the one I'm looking at, which is in NASDAQ. Make sure that I'm looking at the right symbol. Sometimes we make a wrong symbol. I still think this is looking like a bear flag to me. And we have got momentum also pretty low. MACD is bearish but improving. Market sentiment is bearish but improving. I do not see any specific patterns that can indicate that we are going to go up. And market sentiment doesn't indicate that we are going to go up. MACD doesn't indicate that we are going to go up. Momentum is below average, which means it's way below average, which is very close to 30%. It's the bottom of RSI. So its RSI is at 34.88. That doesn't show too much of conviction in the market for any bounce that we are getting. So I'm thinking, I could be wrong here, but I'm thinking that if I wanted to enter, I would enter closer to 99.68. So we bounced off from here. We could test this once more before going up. So if we come here and then we start bouncing, I think at that point of time, the probability of going up is much better than the probability of going down. So that's what I would say, Uddhav. I hope this helps. Please just mention in the chat section what you think about my feedback. So right now, this could be a bear flag. Let me just plot it out for you. This is the flagpole. And what we have here is a bearish pennant, in my opinion. This is a bearish pennant. If we break out on the upside and we confirm on the upside, then I will start thinking further about it. But right now, I don't have any solid basis by which I should enter into NICE. I made similar mistakes in the past. I got into some stocks like that in the past. I think one of them is Ultragenics, and I'm still paying for it, right? So that's the way I would look at it. If there is anything else that you guys want me to look at, please let me know, or else I'm ready to end the live stream. But before I do that, I just want to have a quick chat with Hot Dog with regard to Bitcoin. So let's go back into currency. Let's look into Bitcoin USD. If I'm repeating myself, I apologize, but the main thought that worries me when I look at Bitcoin, let us go to the monthly 1 month chart and recalibrate Bitcoin. And let's look at where we are. Okay. Now, this chart I'm looking at, now this candle that we are looking at is 1st January 2015. So 2015 to 2025, this is 10 years. Let us say a 50-year-old person invested at with Bitcoin. I have started off with Bitcoin. Uddhav, did you get to hear my analysis on NICE? Uddhav, did you get to hear my analysis on NICE? I'm doing BTC now. Let's look at BTC. Hot dog, are you still there? Okay, hot dog. See, what I'm saying is that if you look at the monthly chart of BTC and go to, let us say, 1st of January 2019, or you could even go to 1st of April 2018, right? If you go to those dates and just try to imagine a 50-year-old investor at that point of time hearing all the hype about Bitcoin and saying, okay, let me put some $1,000 out here, right? So if the investor does that kind of a thing, right, and they put money in there, so let us say they bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, right? At that time it was 7,910 for each Bitcoin. So they would have got a whole lot of Satoshis, which would be worth phenomenal amount today, right? So they are now retired. They are 60 years old, and they are saying, okay, I want less risky things, and I want to consolidate everything, and my regular income has stopped coming in. Maybe they got laid off, or AI has replaced them, and they feel the future employment prospects are not that great, and they need to be in a better situation. One of the risk mitigation thing they could do is they could look at the $1,000 they put in Bitcoin at that point of time, right? So 7,200 at that time has become 38,000 right now. So 6 sevens are 42, 7 5s are 35. So that $1,000 has become $5,000, right? Approximately. So they say, okay, I'm going to take that money out. And what is going to precipitate that decision is because when you see months of drop, more of the people out there are going to say, I have some profits and my risk potential is less, so let me take out more of the profits. So that's what they might be doing. And so right now the Bitcoin is at around 8,000. So the 7,000 at that time is now 80,000, so 10 times. So the $1,000 they invested then is now worth approximately $10,000. So you start seeing people looking at these 3 continuous months of drop for Bitcoin and saying, you know what, I just put $1,000 at that time, it's worth 10,000. And earlier, 3 months ago, it was worth even more than that. So before it falls further, why don't I just take those profits? So they are going to be the weak hands which are going to sell right now. And if you imagine some whales from that point of time, whales who are not actually real whales, but they are just lucky retail investors who heard from somebody and who had a big chunk of money available and got fascinated with Bitcoin and put their money into it. Now they are looking at all of this and saying, oh my God, let's take our profits. Things are looking crazy here and there. Let us put the money into gold or something else, or let us pay off all our mortgages and everything, or give the money to our children to buy their house, whatever it may be the rationale. All those things could probably be driving down Bitcoin, and it could drive it down further. That's what I'm thinking. So that's my logic. Okay, hot dog. That's what I'm thinking. Now let's do a little bit more analysis on the monthly. Unlike stocks, we can track individual investors through Glassnode. So, hot dog, can you check Glassnode? I'm going to try and understand Glassnode. I'll check it out. Can you check, and with your opinion, let me know what kind of investors are selling that? Look at their holdings, how much they would have invested maybe 10 or 20 years ago, right? And whoever is selling, are they people who bought 20 years ago or 10 years ago, if that is possible at all? That will probably validate or invalidate my analysis. Now I'm going to use this monthly to draw a most likely trend line using initial candles. So if I use these initial candles, we have 1 touch point, 2, 3. This was not a touch point, but this kind of diagonal line of support has been converted into a resistance, and it's likely to be validated this month, when this month ends. This is the month of December. Now let's go into a weekly time frame, recalibrate the chart. Okay, so here we are. So this diagonal line of resistance has been validated in the weekly time frame, and we have this line of support out here, which has been performing support for the last 2 days. We went below this but did not confirm. So today we are coming back down. So if we come back down, wherever this candle ends, we have to close below that the following day in order to validate this support as resistance. So right now it is still functioning as a support. And if we manage to close above 90,550.06 today, then we could validate this as a support. So that's where we are today, my friends. And things are looking very iffy for Bitcoin, because if I look at the last movement out here, I would consider this to be a flagpole for a bear flag, and this to be the formation of a consolidation to indicate either a bearish pennant or a bear flag. So that's where I am with Bitcoin. So guys, let me know what you think, and we'll catch up again tomorrow. Bye for now. Take care. Have a great day.